We are so excited and so intrigued to have Sandy doing her training tonight on this really cool topic. For those of you that have never met Sandy, she is a 100 Club NMD from Alberta and is a yogi and meditation master and has been taking all kinds of training on those topics, on personal development. She's also an awesome mom to two beautiful little kids, a girl and a boy. And we are just so excited to have her here on the call and share her light as she always does. So take it away, Sandy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I love you guys. I love your team. I'm actually having a family dinner at my auntie and uncle's house. So I'm in their office right now doing the call because we can do this business anywhere, which is what I love. So I've been asked to share my story before I launch into the training for anyone that doesn't know it. I'll give you the quicker version of it so that we can save lots of time. I've got lots to cover with you guys, and you can take notes, and I'll be talking really fast, and yeah, hopefully you catch it all and it lands. So my journey started with Juice Plus nearly 7 years ago. And initially I owned a yoga studio, had a yoga for schools business, and it was a yoga student that had actually told me about the products. It took me a while to get on them, but when I did, they made a huge impact in my daughter's skin issues. Not instantly, but over time. We were able to reintroduce foods back into her diet, and she hasn't had a flare-up ever since. So I became a raving fan of the products right away. I had more energy. I was like pooping like a rock star, and just felt like more vitality and wasn't having crashes. So I was already naturally blabbing about it. Still with zero intention of the business. Like, I just really didn't understand how it could do something for me. I just thought these kind of businesses were, hobbies and not really something that you could make a career out of. But at the time I was struggling, even though my highlight reel would have seemed like I was doing all good. I was in a very toxic marriage. We were on the doorstep to bankruptcy. And so I'd kind of been on my knees praying for a solution that would help shift this, because it was kind of like just getting so frustrated with surviving and not thriving in life, and knowing that I was not meant to live like that. And so I had thought that it would come in the form of a lottery ticket. I had all the things that I was going to do, like everybody does with your lottery tickets. And then the business came across my path, and I got to training, and I seen the bigger vision of what was possible. So the story that caught my attention was Sean and Jennifer Myers. For those of you that don't know them, they are a couple that sailed around the world for 15 months with their kids, and they were talking about this life that they had created. And they had this residual income, and their income didn't go down. In fact, it stayed stable or grew. And I thought, that's amazing. I'm in the background of my life, I was a big backpacker, and so anything with travel is like the hook was in me. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I learned that they were like normal backpackers in their 20s. So at first I thought they were like these shiny people up on a pedestal. And so I thought, well, I could never be like them, and probably life was always easy for them. But then they talked about their struggles and how they, lived on macaroni, and it felt like I could trust them then. Like, I kind of brought them back. Okay, they're just normal, just like me. And then I noticed that, like, with this business, there was a roadmap to success. So you do this, you get bonus money, you do this is kind of your estimated income. And that to me felt like more of a sure thing than even my yoga studio. And so I just had one of those, divine moments where I asked for a sign if this was the thing that I was supposed to do with my life, and listened to my intuition, and I got the sign, and I really grabbed onto it wholeheartedly with both hands, and have honestly never looked back, because it just changed the whole course of my life. And this business grows you. It like raises you up, lifts you up, gives you, like, dusts you off, and also it's an invitation to be more of who you are. And you really can't do this business unless you're showing up authentically as you. You can't fake it as trying to be someone else. And so that was what I was able to do in the journey, and get to the top level relatively quickly in a year and a half. And then beyond that, get to those, the 100 Club. And through that, I did become a single mom. I sold my yoga studio and my yoga for schools business, and Juice Plus is the thing that I primarily do. And what it's really allowed for me is the ability to say yes. So I was having to say no a lot, you know, to shopping, to courses, to adventures. And this is like my oxygen. This is my air. And so in this, the abundance that comes when you grow a business like this, it also comes with a lot of freedom. So because I was able to transition and create the abundance and become a 6-figure income earner, which I say that like seriously, not to impress you or be braggadocious at all. I just say it because it's like pretty cool that I'm just like a normal hot mess. And if I was able to do it, seriously, like truly anyone can do it. And I love that normal people can create these extraordinary lives through this business. And then it becomes a platform for all the other cool stuff that they want to do in their life. And so in that, I have been able to say yes to like yoga trainings and trips for my kids and personal development courses, like all the self-care, which is really important to me. It's a big deal. And I never would have had that if I was, you know, the other road for me could have been, you know, working 3 jobs, trying to make ends meet. I was raised by a single mom, and I know the struggle there. And so I feel so grateful that I really am able to create the life. I'm able to create the life that I always imagined for my kids. It's like not waiting for anyone else to do it for me, and I have the total power. And with this business, it's all in your hands. It can be exactly what you choose it to be, and that's why we get so excited. And if you're new in the business, that's why the people that brought you into the business get so excited for you, because it's like they can see the yellow brick road beyond for you, and like all the possibilities if you just take that step and say, yeah, I'm totally worth it, and I really want to create that life, and I have the power to do something about it. So that's a bit about my story. Again, there's more layers to it, and I will be happy to share with anyone, but I wanted to save lots of time for this because there's lots. And this training. So honestly, when we get to the higher chakras and we get to the NMD position and talking how it relates, one of the biggest advice would be like meditate every day. And I would give that to you, like start from the beginning, because it's in those moments of surrender and listening and meditation that some of the best ideas come. And if you aren't getting quiet enough to listen, they're not necessarily going to come. And so this was one of the things that came to me in a meditation, and I was like, I wonder if they relate. And so I went digging through my, you know, homework books and looking through all the books that I have on chakras. And I was like, oh my gosh, they actually do line up with each level. And some of the people that are blocked in certain levels, like not able to push through, you can relate them to some of the blocks of that chakra. And so I did this training for the team back in the winter. And one of the girls had messaged me and she's like, oh my gosh, I've been stuck at sales coordinator. And I, spinning my tires, feeling frustrated, doing all the things right. But there just seems to be something holding me back, some kind of block. And she had gone to a healer, and the healer had said, you've got a block in your heart chakra. You need to be doing some work there. And so when I connected with this, it was like just double confirmation that, okay, yeah, this is the place that I can work on and strengthen and help myself move through that block. So let's take a deep breath in, because I am going to talk really fast to try and get this in 20 minutes so you guys can get back to your evening. So this is the evolution of a distributor through the chakras. And we're going to start at the lower chakra. So we're going to start with dealer level. And this is associated with, we can associate it with the root chakra. This is the element is earth. So it's all around security, survival, grounding, and trust. So this, someone signs up for, sometimes they sign up as a dealer for the discount, so they're covering their cost. Sometimes they're a brand new rep and don't really even know what they don't know or what they want to do or what this could be for them. And so there's all kinds of all that intermingling in that unknown. And this chakra, when it's out of balance or there's a block here, it could present as having some anxiety. And I know, lots of the people I've signed up, or even, me when I started this journey, this kind of anxiousness, like, oh, can I, will it, is it possible? So then we can work with that. Another sign that it's out of balance is there's a lack of energy, or you're just feeling ungrounded. If ever you think back to a time in your life when you're kind of like, and you just don't feel rooted, it can be a sign that you need to work on the grounding and work into your root chakra and get that grounding place. So So the call to action here for the new dealers is to make sure that they attend a live event or an online live event. So really important, we know the thing that sets us apart in our business from anything else is the community. So the sooner we can connect them into the community, even if it's a couple of you going for coffee or whatever, the better it's going to be for them. So that's the call to action when you've got a DLR. Just another aside, the color here associated with the root chakra is red. And I know a couple of good stones to recommend. If you know someone that needs to work on it, I can recommend it. So that's dealer. Then the next level is DD. I think it's hilarious that they actually line up. When I looked at this, I was like, that's so cool. That is the sacral chakra. So that's the second chakra. The element associated with this is water. So this is all around emotions, identity. There's a bit of sexuality thrown in there. That doesn't really relate to our business, or does it? That's a whole other training I'll come out with in the next couple months. And then creativity. When you're out of balance here, you could have like creative blocks, maybe intimacy issues, inability to flow with change, nervous and questioning. So, you can think, maybe someone signed up as a family plan and they're DD, and maybe they've caught the vision, maybe they haven't, or they have and they want to start, but they don't know where to start. Like I just have a new girl who's going to be launching and she's feeling, I don't even know. I know everything's laid out to me, but how do I invite again? It's like you just kind of like have this nervousness. And so so here the call to action, if you're at a DD and you're not just sitting, if you've got someone that wants to work the business and they're going to be team, make sure right away, get them to listen to the Jim Rohn, How to Build Your Network Marketing Business. Have most of you listened to that? Yeah. Of course, Nicole's listened to it. This is a really good one. This is so good for me. And I think I was, just like a brand new, I don't know if I was a DD or a VF, and listening to it, it just like eases your mind, and it makes you not take it so seriously what you're doing, and just put yourself out there, and the importance of, really believing in the industry. So that is an important one to watch. And also, so as a sponsor here for someone that's your DD, that's wanting to get to VF, wanting to get to the higher levels, it's really important to nurture them in this space and kind of almost treat them like an employee. So not everyone and most people that come to this business, they have they don't have necessarily an entrepreneurial mindset. Some still have that employee mindset. So it can be really helpful to give those, little daily tasks. Okay, reach out to this person. Okay, this and this and this. And I find that they really respond well when they're being told what to do and they just kind of do it. Then it can be sometimes like, oh, I don't even know where to start. And they get overwhelmed. And that's really something that can happen at this level. So that's your marching orders for that one. Pardon, I have a tickle in my throat. The color associated with the sacral chakra is orange. And then the next level is your VF. This is the solar plexus chakra. And this element is fire. This is the third chakra. So this is all associated with ego, identity, personal power, ambition, and digestion. How are you digesting life? This is a good question to ask in this third chakra. Also confidence, growing, knowing, and this is a teach to teach. So our business is all about is teaching to teach. So the sooner you can get your VF a new rep so that they can be teaching them what they just did to get to VF, the more it's going to lock in what they did. Some people will get there and be like, I don't know what I did, but I just did. And then time goes by and they forget. But if you can help them get a rep right away, and then they are teaching them what they just did to VF, that's super helpful. So one of my most favorite Yogi Bhajan quotes is, if you want to learn something, read about it. If you want to understand something, write about it. If you want to master something, then teach it. And I believe that so much with this business. That's how NMDs are made, is just that you get really good at teaching what you just did. You know something? I'm going to finish this one, and then I realized I didn't explain to you what chakras are, so I'll do that. So this one, the solar plexus, when it's out of balance or there's a block, it could present as low self-esteem, a lack of willpower, and then a fear of rejection. And I underline this, like, how often, you know, you get to your, you get to VF, and on the way there, you had to confront all these things, and you still have this kind of fear of rejection when you're, you know, sharing the product in the business, and that sometimes can be the thing that makes you freeze and not push out and push beyond, you know, the comfort zone. And it's really important as a sponsor to someone that's in VF is to like hold their hands and nurture them. And also, if they haven't yet got a team member, then do it, just like be there by their side to help them get a rep, whatever you got to do. Get me on 3-way calls. Let's go hang out with this person. Give me your dream team. Let's brainstorm. Like, I find it really helpful that you'll get their dream team list of 10 people, and then they'll tell you about them, and then you explain, you know, then you can brainstorm and you'll get divine ideas on how they can approach them. But be like, you know what? My mission is to help you get your first distributor if they haven't already got the distributor. Here, really important, if they haven't already, listen to GoPro. Also, the science of the law of attraction is really important so that they can get their mindset around the language that they use, the vibration that they're bringing, the energy that they're putting out, and how it's not just the words that you speak, but the way that you feel is what can attract other things. And really just get them teaching to teach. So help them teach someone to VF, because nothing locks in that wisdom that does. We're good? I'm talking fast? We're good for time. Nice. Okay. So I didn't tell you what the chakras are. What the heck are they? So for those of you, I know your team is super into this. So I found this really good quote about it, and I thought it was a perfect way to describe what chakras are. So the chakras are very intelligent. They're like software of the whole computer body. So they're energy systems. So there's, you know, it's not just a physical body. You've got this whole auric field around you, and the chakras are systems in the body, and you work with that energy and move them up through the chakras. And it's like your body has this crazy, amazing wisdom. And sometimes when you're like rubbing up against things in life, or you're feeling stuck, and you go and you maybe get a healing session, or you kind of, you know, connect to what could be happening, sometimes you find that there's a block in the chakras. And I noticed that after practicing Kundalini yoga for so long in the last couple of years, there's been such an openness for me, and I didn't even realize that I had some blockages in my lower chakras. And just that work of practicing and elevating the energy moving up through the chakra system has like just opened up a whole new world within myself. And so yeah, they're amazing. Okay, so now we are at SC. This one is associated with the heart chakra, fourth chakra. The associations here is all around social identity, love, relationships, healing. And what I'd say about this here, I mean, people that do really well at this business, it's because they really pour into their relationships. And so this could be a kind of a place where you evaluate what you're bringing into your relationships. You know, like, are you, you know, putting your 10 out of 10 into a relationship or a friendship? Are you doing all you can to make them feel valued? Those efforts go so far. And when it comes to sharing this business, like, with that mindset of making a friend first, it's not like with an agenda. You know, some don't have that expectation on people. Really, like, you know, be it to a place of offering, to deepening in that relationship, be unattached to the outcome. And people feel that. People feel when you come from that heart place. So you know, they say the longest journey that you'll ever make is from the head to the heart. This one is, you know, this is like just a mantra that you need to say over and over to yourself here. And sometimes when you're stuck at sales coordinator, or if you're feeling like growing here or doing something, it's just like getting back to the heart of why you're doing it, and then into a confidence with how you're showing up and how you're sharing it. So if you kind of approach it as being timid and nervous and apologetic, people feel that as well. So doing what you can to bring this energy into balance, and and really honing into because the thing about this business, it will shine the light on all of your junk, and you have to confront it. And sometimes we get stuck because we don't want to see what we are being shown, what's being shown to us by our stuckness. And so it's really important, if there's any kind of like residual healing or anything that you need to do, or whatever fears are coming up, that you kind of sit with them and acknowledge them, so then you can know how to move through them and release them. So then you're free to like step into the next level, because we keep ourselves in this illusion of safety, even though it could be holding us back. So really important to work with that. Building and growing a team deepens your determination. So at sales coordinator, you're starting to get some more reps. And that's, again, what starts to lock you into this mission. When you start helping other people impact their finances and change their lives, it's kind of like the hook that you can't get out, and you just like become addicted to it. So make sure that you're getting more people on the mission with you, so that you can keep deepening there. Here, the call to action is, if you haven't already read it, this is a book that was really popular in the last couple of years. It's You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. You probably all have read it, but if you haven't, you must. Another really good, it's a documentary. I don't know if any of you have watched it. It's called The Power of the Heart. Has anyone watched it? Oh, it's so good. Send me a message when you watch it. It's really good. And it's actually talks about the frequency of the heart. Like, it has an intuition all its own, even beyond the mind. Maya Angelou's in it, Deepak Chopra, all the good ones. And it's a really well done documentary. So you can probably get it on Amazon, or you can download it somewhere. Another really good documentary that will help you understand, because when you understand the energy that you're bringing, the frequency, the vibration, what you're putting out, energetically, everything changes. Because when you can shift that into that, letting that radiance be the higher vibration, you're going to attract people with that higher vibration. So the next one is called E-Motions. Has anyone watched that one? Yeah, Chris Janice. It's a good one. Who's in it? Joe Dispenza. Zvonko is really into him. He's in it, and a couple other people with heart math and different things. Such a good documentary. So that's homework for you. And then the sponsor. So because sometimes here it's like doing some work, stepping into that senior sales coordinator, stepping into the that leadership. Maybe there's still some belief around the business and belief around themselves. So really, like, work with your distributor if they might be like, just stuck at that sales coordinator level, to recognize what a gift they're giving. Like, however you can, put them in front of people, connect them to more information, so that they can really feel like, oh my God, I'd be an a-hole if I didn't share this, and just shift their mindset there and navigate some of their worries. The color associated here is green. Okay, I'll talk really fast. We're almost there. Okay, the next one is SSC, and we're moving up. And now the second one is E-Motions. The second video. Sorry, I'm not paying. Ooh. Shit. Sorry, guys. Okay, you got it. E-Motion. Sorry, I went to go read the thing, and then I got kicked out. Okay, so now we're at SSC, and then that relates to the throat chakra. This is the 5th chakra. The element is ether. This is all around self-expression, integrity, and communication. It's so important to be finding your voice here. And also finding your brand, if you haven't landed on what that is now. Now you've been, in the business for a while, you're starting to get some traction. Just figure out what it is you represent and how you show up. And if you don't really know what your brand is, pardon me, then ask the people around you. Sometimes they'll have an insight just from watching you that you didn't even realize that are associated with your brand. Here you're stepping into leadership. Here you get the opportunity to start creating your own team culture. So you're going to start a growing team. And it's always helpful to collectively sit down with your team and say, hey, what kind of culture do we want to create? You know, what are we about? How do we want to represent? How do we want to show up together as a team? And that can create bonds, bonds within. So you have the mothership organization of you guys, and then you all have these other kind of little team cultures growing, and that can be really helpful for you to know how you want to show up. Your commitment level is up. Here too, like if you haven't had any time in front of the room, maybe just sharing your story at a regional. This is how your sponsors can support you. Like get them up there, sharing their story, even if it's hosting or, give them lots of opportunity to be at the front of the room, sharing their story and practicing exercising their voice. Out of balance here, it could be, you could have some difficulty communicating your thoughts and speaking your truth. So again, this is the place where it's like, am I showing up as myself? Have I been really truly letting myself be seen? Am I being truly authentic to me? You get another opportunity to examine that and then think of how you want your voice to be heard. Make sure that you're giving them lots of significance at this level. At this level in our team, we have an upper leadership. We call it the millionaires. We get our SSCs and above to buy in on everything that we're going to do. They're a part of all the ways that we steer our ship. So the call to action here is also here can be another place to reevaluate what your beliefs are around money, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever it is that you have, any kind of shame stories there, and kind of clear the slate so that you can be open to receive abundance. So You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. Make sure if you haven't read it at this level that you want to read it. I'm going to give a yogi tip on other ways to help this chakra is to start chanting mantra. Just try it out, see how it feels. But it was a really cool healer that said, we'll all be saved through the sound of our own voices. So when you are chanting, there's like a vibration all of its own that's connected to divine. The words you won't even know, so you don't have to get your thinking mind into it. And there's such a healing effect when you can open up this throat chakra. I just cannot say enough good things. Like, you guys, the power of it. I went to a mantra artist in Calgary the other day. A couple weeks ago, 1,000 people in a room chanting. The news leading up to it was all doom and gloom happening around Calgary. For the days after, more positive things were in the newspaper, more good stories, more heartwarming stories. Those outweighed some of the negative things. So that, it works. And so when you start, and it works for yourself, because you can chant through some of the emotions that you're feeling, or some of the places that you're feeling triggered or stuck. The color associated with that one is blue. And then moving up to QNMD, so this is associated with the third eye. This element is light, so this is the sixth chakra. This is all about self-reflection, intuition, clarity of sight. So you've made it here. You clearly have the ability to visualize, to focus, to plan, to be clear in your intentions, to, get it done, do the do. Here you can start to, the bigger purpose of your vision starts to take shape here. Like, I find that lots of people, and maybe you have it, you can have it sooner, but this is kind of here where you're starting to maybe see what your mission within a mission is, like, I have a passion to help single moms, and also, help retire my mom. And I also feel like I need to teach young women how to, honor their bodies, and like all these kind of other things that I know as I grow into the contribution that I'm going to do in this world, it starts to take shape here, because you start to taste like, wow, this is actually possible for me. When you're out of balance, this could be difficulty making decisions. You could be having like poor intuition, where it feels like, gosh, my intuition is just not working right now. can feel stuck. And also it can, there's also, so sometimes at this level, you're so close to the top, and then your vision only went as far as like QNMD and NMD, and then it's a time to like really, okay, shake out and refocus on what's your empire, what's your that bigger vision, and get into the place where you believe that you're worthy of having that. So this is like work around that. And call to action here, if you haven't read it already, it's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. So, I mean, here upper limits start to show up, you know, because you're starting to earn a couple thousand, you know, a couple thousand, 2,500 a month. And maybe you, in your mindset, you're blocking yourself from being worthy to receive more, or whatever it might be. You know, self-sabotage can start to come in, because there can be, you know, sometimes there's a leap here that, you know, and sometimes people could be like, the responsibility of it. So as a sponsor of someone here is just like loving them through that and connecting them to the tools that'll help them, or connecting them to the people that maybe had to work through that block on their own, so that you can help them step up and step in, because they're badasses. And reevaluate your vision. If you haven't read it already, another one I recommend is High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. If anyone's read that one, I don't know. It's really good. He studied the most successful people in the world, and he wanted to see what are their daily habits that they do on a regular basis. Like one is they navigate transitions. So before they had a big day at work, then in the car, they do some mindful practices, clear their mind, and then set their intention for how they're going to be when they walk into the house. And then they do that every time they go through transitions. So you can imagine, because we're just hustling, bustling, not paying any conscious thought to, you know, that. And we're going into different states. So I love that one. That's one that I have adopted. It makes a big difference for me. When I do it, I'm not perfect and I don't do it all the time, but when I do, it makes a heck of a good difference. Color associated there is indigo. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Okay, then we're at the crown chakra. This is NMD. The elements associated are all of them. Seventh chakra. So this one is some of the qualities are thoughts, understanding, self-knowledge, spirituality, connecting to intuition. Your intuition sharpens, you know, becomes, you can trust it a lot at this, you know, when you get to this place, or when the chakra is functioning. It's all around unity, like unity of the all, the oneness. When you think of the bigger vision here, it's not how does this benefit me, it's how does this benefit everyone. So for example, in our team, we don't make a change in what we're doing until we think around how is the dealer, the DD, everyone going to benefit from this change? What, you know, it's just like always thinking about, and you know, you're amazing leaders. That's the same. They're brainstorming, thinking of how does this benefit the all? Something here, it's, you know, the question starts to be, they say like it really begins at this level if you have the goals for all these levels, that's when the real work of it begins. So it's a real question of how can I be of service? How can I be of service? It's like, you ask that always and all through it. But this becomes extra important because you're thinking of your contribution and how can I contribute in the world with this abundance that's been gifted to me? How can I make a bigger impact? How is this a bigger platform for my soul work, for the other work that I'm meant to be doing in this world? When you're out of balance here, you could have difficulty meditating, lack of spiritual connection, and maybe just like an aimlessness, like, you know, like, oh, just like, I don't know what my direction I'm going. Call to action, then go back and be a student again. Do personal development courses. You guys, I know I've said it a lot, but like, I was at war with myself and I didn't even realize it. I was stuck in really like not being the kindest to myself behind closed doors, you know. I don't know if anyone can relate. And so I knew like I just had to shift. I needed to go to work at this because something wasn't in alignment. I wasn't being true to me. So that's why I did so many personal development courses and go to Kundalini yoga trainings all the time, because I need to get right with myself. And I tell you what, that has been priceless. It's like so worth it to go back to school for yourself. Whatever resonates with you, go do it. Just invest. It's a business write-off anyways. Think about leveling up. Where have I been playing small? Where am I not showing up? Meditate daily. You guys, in that high performance habits, every huge successful person has some kind of mindful practice, some kind of meditation practice, because that is where the downloads of ideas come. So if you're not already meditating, just start, just 5 minutes a day, whatever you can do. It can be also really helpful to find a mentor or find a couple mentors that can be gifting you with their knowledge and a new perspective. And then another one is there's a move in Kundalini Yoga. It's called Ego Eradicator. So you curl your fingers down on the pads of your hands, and then you reach them up 60 degrees and the thumbs point up. You bring your shoulder blades back. You bring your neck in, and then you close your eyes, and then you do this thing called breath of fire. So it's breathing in and out quickly through the nose, and inhale and exhale fully and let the belly fill of air. So this is Ego Eradicator. I can send you a link for it. That's a really good one to help, get you right. And it's a good little wake up, tune up if you need it in the day. And that's it. So then we've got the 8th chakra, all of them together. Everything's working, everything's spinning. You feel like a rock star. You're on top of the world. And this is your aura. And so it's in your radiance and your projection that everything is attracted to you. It sounds hokey, but it is actually true. When you get your body in alignment, when you get your spirit, your soul in alignment, you get your chakras going, it's just it's like magnets. People are magnetized to you. And it's, it's so much about your beingness. How are you being? How are you showing up? Not just, what you're giving lip service to, but how are you being and how are you standing in your integrity always? And that's like the special sauce. So so that's it. That's what I got for you. So one of my favorite quotes I've just been into lately is test your wings. Trust is one and daring is the other. You will find them both enthusiastic for flight. So have a great wild ride. Go get a chakra tune up and hopefully this is helpful in some way. Thank you guys.
Sandy, that was so great. I don't know if you're seeing the comments, but people are just raving and raving about it.
Yay!
It's so cool. And I've been listening to your bits and pieces. Every time I see you, I'm like, I got to talk to Sandy. I got to pick her brain. And I would say every time I talk to you, you say, when I was meditating, this was downloaded to me, all these ideas. And so I've been doing, I'm kind of off and on recently, but most recently I've been back at it again, and I've been sharing it with my team, and I won't call out any names of anybody on here, but they know who I'm talking to. They started doing it finally, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the difference. So it's just so important, and I'm even passing those tips on to my own kids to just start their day like that. It's so much calmer, and listening to that intuitive voice that they have in there. And then just that you've put this whole thing together with our marketing plan. It's brilliant. And then all the tools that you gave us to work through. So yeah, it's brilliant. Just all those ideas and then what we can do to fix those blocks. So I'm sure everyone on here at their level is probably going, oh yeah, totally. Right. So yes, awesome. Thank you so much. We can't wait. Welcome. What's next?
Yay, that was fun. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you. It's when we second chakra stuff. No, just kidding.
Yeah, go meditate. Get ready for the next one. So thank you again, Sandy, and
You're
thanks
so
to
welcome.
team.
Thank you,
Thanks to everybody that tuned in, made the time out of your night. So appreciated coming on here and working on yourself, right? And supporting Sandy. So thanks again, guys. Have a good night, everyone.
Melissa, can I just